Trekkies and Trekkers. Welcome to this amazing Star Trek podcast on Trek Tuesday. I'm your host Orinda, and together with my lovely co-host Amanda Hopper, we recap every 2 weeks an episode of Star Trek, starting with Star Trek TNG. All the episodes will be recapped in chronologically following. We will approach each episode with humor and a feminine look. Today's recap is of the episode Justice. Well, let me introduce you to my lovely co-host again. Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
Long time no here. It's already been 2 weeks.
Yep, it has definitely been 2 weeks.
Time is flying.
Oh my gosh, is it ever? We're in the middle of November already. Actually, we're the third week of November.
Yeah, still a few weeks, and then we're already in with Christmas and New Year.
Oh boy. Christmas shopping.
Today's recap is Justice. It's the 7th episode of season 1 of TNG.
Yep.
And for my sakes, it's a Wesley Crusher episode.
Yeah, Wesley.
And was this one of the first time that Picard had to didn't hold himself on to the Prime Directive?
No, like he had this episode he has to save Wesley's butt from getting executed. And he's supposed to follow the Prime Directive, and which I think he partially does follow it, but he eventually saves Wesley.
Yeah, I think, but it was really weird about the security laws on that planet and what's called the Rubicon Tree, and it's almost like Earth-like planet, Class M planet, of course, and but it was when they told Tasha Yar and Riker and Worf about the only law they have that if you commit a crime you will be punished and you will be put to death. That was so...
Yeah.
The first time I heard that was really shocking.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, it's basically like, oh, no trial, we're just going to kill you right here on the spot for doing what you did.
Yeah, and it's so... how do I say this? It's really... Yeah, I think society of today can't imagine that if you just have a minor crime in the way of, for example, walking with your bare feet on the grass, that you would be killed over it.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if I read correctly somewhere, if you steal something in a certain part of the world, I don't recall where it was, but it was overseas, certain part of the world, if you steal something and they catch you, they take your hand sometimes, or they would take your life.
Well, of course you can. I don't know, I don't want to say with and compare it with what like in the Muslims laws of like that will kill you when they have a family on or whatever. But yeah, I was really, for the first time I heard that was really shocking. So let's start at the beginning because we are recapping it in the middle of it now. So they are at the Class M planet called Rubicon Tree, and Riker and the away team went down for exploring, and they were very impressed with everything around it. But the Enterprise got some fault readings, and they couldn't explain where it's coming from. They did tests, they had data, check it out, and at that point, the awake team came back and Picard asked them, well, is it really like it is what you report? Because that's insanely, nice, And,
Mm.
but Picard is still a little bit skeptic about it.
Yeah, like he was thinking, this is a little too good to be true. No planet can be like perfect, is probably what he's thinking. Because what planet is perfect?
Then he said, first, Dr. Crusher came on the bridge and she was nagging Picard of, hey, dude, we need to have short leave because all that things like getting dedicates to a planet and colonists onto the planet, we need rest and time off. So she was bothering him with that, and then Picard said, well, Wesley, the next time the away team is going down, I want you to go with them and see how it is for children. And I think that was a totally, that was totally, in one way, a surprise, I guess.
Yeah, Wesley went down on the next away team with Riker, Tasha, and Worf. I think those were the three that went down, if I'm correct.
Oh, I was laughing my ass off again when Riker and Worf had that conversation about that Earth woman and so women of this planet were so fragile and delicate. So as a warrior, and Worf had to contain himself because when he would have sex with them, then he will destroy them for.
Because he said in the Klingon, like he said for Klingons, the women and the male Klingons and the female Klingons literally beat the crap out of each other.
It is
the way they do things. They literally beat the crap out of each other.
The only woman who didn't do that was on his first mate. She played by Susie Plexton. Oh, what's her name? I forgot her name. But okay. They were down on the planet, and the first thing you notice, it is very sunny, and it is very open, and it's very relaxed, but also all those people are running.
Yeah, running from one spot to another, and their clothes, well, almost swimsuit attire looking to them. And I'm sure to keep stuff in place, they had to use double-sided sticky tape to hold the costumes in place. Or something, according to me and my dad, something would have slipped out. And peekaboo, the surprise is shown.
Yeah, it was. In one way, it was really weird close, I must say.
Yeah.
Really weird. But okay. The people who called Edos were greeting them very openly and friendly and touchy, but also flirty. And
yeah.
I think flirty is, I think, the main word of the whole episode in the way of how they are.
Yeah, like, what was it? Deanna Troi went down, too. I remember that now. Deanna went down. And the guy was flirty with the two girls. And the woman there, she hugged up against Worf, and he seemed a little tense, as you could tell from him, thinking, I don't want to hurt her. I'm going to try to be calm around her. And she was, like, literally hugging him, and she had to stand on her tippy toes to hug him because he's that tall.
Did you notice that I was feeling that Diana Troi was was a little bit jealous of that woman was so flirty with Riker?
Well, yeah, because her and Riker are, I guess, together, if I'm correct.
But they already have a past before they came to the Enterprise together, and the first time Riker and Diana met, you could already see she called him Imzadi, and
yes, I remember that now.
In the first episode, you could see also that Riker still has feelings for her, and that grows even more through the whole series. The away team were running, they greeted people, and there was a point that Wesley met some kids and they were running away. And on that point, there was one thing I was thinking of. Why do they have the away team so fully thick closed? It's a sunny planet. So why is everyone wearing thick clothes?
That's true. You think they would have been warm in those one-piece uniforms because they're like a cotton-based, I think they are for the uniforms. And if it's hot out, ooh, you're probably sweating like crazy in those uniforms.
Yeah, but
especially if you're going to be running.
I also mean with Wesley, he wears a jumper, and it is freaking super hot there.
Yeah, those jumpers of his. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be hot wearing that thing. Basically like an oversized sweater.
Yeah, and it was just like it's like a paradise on there. So why don't you wear just like light stuff? And I know, of course, for the officers I can imagine because you represent something. But Wesley doesn't have a uniform yet.
No.
So that was one thing that was weird.
Yeah, you think he would have had like a t-shirt or something that'd be more comfortable for sunny weather. Not that oversized heavy cardigan thing.
And what I could tell him about it is say, hey Wes, it's very hot down, it's paradisely, so put something light on because what we are wearing now, it's too hot.
Yeah, you think they would have given him a heads up to wear something more comfortable, more lighter instead of the sweater.
Yeah, so meanwhile on the bridge, when they were down on the planet, there was an object appearing, and it was some kind of a vessel, but it was really, really weird, and they discovered that thing was the main malfunction of all the systems, and so Picard asked Georgie to take a better look in, I think that was the ready room, or maybe it's the observation room. I can't remember where it was.
I think it was observation, maybe? Or it could have been the ready room, or could they probably call the ready room and or observation the same thing, maybe.
Yeah.
It's confusing at times.
Well, I think, and that was more clear in, for example, Voyager, the observation room and the ready room were two separate rooms. And I think in the beginning of TNG, they didn't have exactly the room for example, only observation or the ready room. And maybe they just did that on a later date of saying, okay, that is just the ready room. Because that's also the same place, and that was one of the episodes before, that Geordi was on that place, and that he was really, that was with the virus, that he was really complete out of mind, and he was there, but and so I think in the beginning they didn't call the ready room, especially the ready room, but also the observation room.
Yeah, that's where they had Geordi from the episode. It was The Naked Now when he was out of his mind.
So then a light bulb appears from out the ship and came into the Enterprise, and the computer was screaming, intruder alert, intruder alert. The light bulb was in front of Picard, and then it talks, and it was very loud and demanding.
Ooh, and it was loud.
It let the whole ship tremble.
Yeah, it was basically, it made that ship shook. because it was so loud. It was like so loud that Picard had to literally plug his ears, like cover his ears.
Yeah, and the light bulb was saying it's some kind of attacking the Enterprise with all the systems, and then he demanded of Picard, don't disturb my children down. So Picard talked about to the light bulb and explained, well, we inhabited one of the planets around by, and we just make a new setting on it. And the funny thing was, Data was very intrigued by this light bulb.
Yeah, he asked about the settlers too. The orb did about why they left him on the planet, but Picard told him that they're settling new people. I guess he said.
Yeah, and then the light bulb attacked Data in a way because it wanted information. And that's how he learns also about the Prime Directive. And
he hooked himself on Data's forehead like a leech and makes Data fall backwards and starts reading his mind like really, really fast. Well, not really fast, but he reads his mind to get all the info, and he learns stuff about stuff through Data, basically. It's like a kind of like a Vulcan mind meld minus the Vulcan.
Did you notice also that Data's makeup isn't that shiny anymore?
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't as shiny as it was in the other episodes. It's more like a powder look to it. Not like so shiny you're like, holy crap, but it's like they used a powder type makeup on him this time.
Yeah, and I remember in an interview with him that he was saying, well, in the first season we really experimented with the kind of color Data would have, and also with the eye color. So it's very yes.
Yeah, I saw a picture of his contacts. They had one in that was yellow and the other one was orange, like a cat.
Yeah.
I like the yellow better.
So we're going down to the planet again, and Wesley is having fun with the other kids, and they challenge each other because the Ida boy was he was saying, well, I think you can't do this, and he walked on his hand, and Wesley said, okay, watch this, and he did some other stuff with his but then Wesley wanted to teach them, I think it's about baseball or cricket, but he needed a stick, and so he said, oh well, throw the ball for me, and then he fell over the white fences into a new flowery piece of garden.
Yeah, kind of. I think it was like a little greenhouse thing for flowers. I think it was. It's like a little miniature version of a greenhouse, just built lower.
Yeah,
like new plants.
That was the point that the away team come into trouble, because this was a sector that was how did they call
designated.
it? Yeah.
It so punishment zone, I think they said.
Yeah, it was a punishment zone. So
yeah,
what means that Wesley would give the death penalty. And
yep.
But somebody of those whole delegation of other people haven't told the away team about this punishment. When they were telling them about it, was really that I was thinking, alright, I can imagine that, but to put somebody to death in a minor crime, that's ridiculous.
I know, all he did was trip over the stupid railing and into the flowers. You can fix the glass and flowers. Jeez, no need to kill somebody over that.
Yeah, indeed, and we saw Riker was enjoying himself, and then we saw Worf was very grumpy.
Worf's always grumpy.
So then there was that funny conversation between Worf and Riker, and then it was Tasha Yar who got to hear the first of them. What about the punishment zone? And she was in the beginning very surprised and impressed that there was no crime on the planet and that they don't have some kind of a police. Well, they have police, but yeah, you know what they would do. There's only one punishment they can give.
Death. That's the punishment. Death.
Yeah, so they have really, really weird laws there, and I really had pity with Wesley. And so there was a conversation. Riker defended Wesley, and he threw that law enforcement on the ground. And oh, by the way, that is also really stupid again. They have that small phaser again, or phaser.
Oh yeah, they're little tiny phasers.
I don't like them. But okay.
No, they're so odd looking.
Yeah, and it reminds me of TOS.
Yeah, I kind of remember TOS did kind of have small ones. But in future episodes, they'll get better looking ones.
Yeah, but I do like the other. I like the second mark and the third mark of the faces, because those small ones doesn't. Those are really ridiculous in a way.
Yeah, because they kind of look awkward to hold, especially if you've got big hands.
Yeah, but take War, for example. A big warrior with a damn small phaser. That's super ridiculous.
I know. Poor Worf, having to use something that tiny.
Riker wanted to get in touch with the Enterprise, and they couldn't get through. It was jammed. I can't remember what happened then, but oh yeah, that light bulb went away, and Data was completely out of order. So they brought him back to
sickbay.
Sickbay, yeah. And that was the point where the away team could contact the Enterprise again. And then Picard beamed down because he had to solve the issue, and I think this is a really complete other different diplomat mission than they already have. And I think in this episode you saw Picard growing in his diplomat self. But there was one strange thing too. Why did Geordi beam down too? That's just weird.
That is kind of weird.
So Picard sat down. He asked about Wesley. They told him or explained him what the laws are in there, but they came to a conclusion that the Enterprise and his people are more advanced than they are with the laws. And so, okay, Wesley would be keep safe till sundown, but Picard asked if one of them could come with them to the ship and see what kind of a vessel was there and what it exactly was. So Revon came back to the ship, and she was fairly impressed. As she said,
yeah, I'd be super impressed too if I was part of that group there and got transported up to the ship and got to see stuff I would never see before. I'd be like massively impressed.
First they came back with Dr. Crusher, and Dr. Crusher was really, you could see how anxious she was. She had heard about what happened, and she told Picard, well, sir, Data is fully functioning again, and he wants to talk with you immediately. So I have done my part as a doctor, but now I want to do the part of a mother. And Picard plucked her up and said, okay, I know that, but not now. I need to show Revan what happened in that ship, and etc., etc., etc. And Beverly was a little bit of shocked about, because it was her child, of course, we're talking about. So Picard took her to his to the ready room or observation deck, and as soon as she saw that vessel, she kneeled, and she became very scared.
Freaked out a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. She went in there. As soon as she saw it, she's like, holy crap, kneeled and put her arms across her chest and bowed to the ship out there. And I think she called it their god.
Yeah. For them,
they worshipped it.
Yeah. And it was totally, later on we got the story that it was some kind of life form that was like a god for the surrounding planets, and they were the one who let those people grow and be the laws in that way. So for them it was a god. That life form became threatened to, in a way, to the Enterprise, but extremely to Picard, and told Picard, send my child back.
Yeah, he approached the ship after he said that. He's like, send my child back, or something to that way, I guess. And he was getting closer and closer. Well, it was getting closer and closer to the ship. And Picard puts his comm badge on the girl. I can't remember her name. Like you said her name so many times, I forget what it is. And transported her back down to the planet. And then the ship god thing backed up as soon as he did that.
It was really, I think in one way, that life form also was a little curious, but of course he wanted that information from Data. So they went to sickbay, and Picard talked to Data, and there was a little funny moment that Picard say, Data, stop it, you babble too much.
Yeah.
And when the conversation was almost finished, Beverly was really emotional, and she asked Picard again, Jean-Luc, what the hell are you going to do about the situation with Wesley? Because I am not going to put them to that of my son. Data was really curious of her motherly reaction. And as always, like a android, he made a very androidish comment of, "Oh, that's why you reacting like that, you know?"
And I think she proceeded to tell him to shut up too. I think, if I'm correct.
Well, she walked off a little bit mad, but Picard already gave her permission to beam down with him. There was another thing. Did you see that the lab coat she was wearing is totally different than I think in season 2 or even in season 3? Then she had...
Yeah.
Then
was it like a darker blue?
I think so, but also like a nightgown, like with...
Yeah, like a house coat, but it was longer and it was thinner too. It wasn't as thick looking.
And with cords. Normally
I
she
never
doesn't...
noticed the cord.
Yeah, that's why that's why she hold it together.
Oh.
In a way.
I didn't even notice the cords. Huh.
But that's what I love about, I think I have told you that I have done a Dr. Crusher cosplay, and the lab coat was... I always took the lab coat, what she wears in the later seasons, because I do like that more than the first version of the lab coat. Yeah. Before the woman beamed down let me see. Revan is her name. And Revan told Picard, you are sharing the space with our god, so you must be a god. You can take the boy anytime, whenever you want.
Yeah, like she when he as soon as he beamed down, she went down to her knees, like basically went down onto her knees there and gave him his badge back and said that to him.
No, it's before she went down again, but also it was like but after that they said that too to him, because it was like, you have so much power, so you can take the boy. Why are you even want to conduct our laws? Yeah. So they were saying, okay, you have so much power, so you can take the boy any time you want to. So Picard said, okay, come on, Wesley, we are going to leave. And Picard said to the transport room, okay, 6 to beam up. But they couldn't beam up. And those Edo law enforcement people were saying, this is justice.
Yeah, they say it was their god that determined that they couldn't leave, but there was a big switch in a few seconds on them after.
Then Picard began to preach about justice, and of course we ended up with Riker saving once again the day. And he said something like, one is justice or something with a robot. And that was the point that they could beam out again. And, it's always Riker who saved the day.
And I think the guards also said that Wesley would be a fugitive on their planet.
I think, yeah, something like that. They say it will be in the records or whatever.
Yeah.
So they beam out, and I think there was something else. Oh, yeah. Picard told the vessel of the life form, he said, well, if it's fine by you, we will get those colonists out of there, and we will colonize another planet. And with that, he asked the life form to give a sign if he approves. And the life form disappeared.
Yeah, it's like, what kind of answer is that?
Yeah, and I thought there was Geordie LaForge who was really disappointed that there was no more interaction with showing them that he was approving of.
Yeah, like all he did was just disappear. He didn't say yes or no or anything. He just like, bloop, disappear.
Yeah, so it was really interesting how this episode was evolving through the whole episode. We are getting close to the end, so do you have any something to add, Amanda?
I can't really think of anything I could add. All I can think of is those outfits on the people on the planet are really interesting, and the whole baseball thing for Wesley to say. I'm still laughing about Wesley and the whole baseball stick thing. He's like, long, thick.
And he was super shy when that girl asked him to do something else, and he was so shy. I said, yeah, well, I don't have much about that.
Like a little innuendo with a baseball bat. Yeah, those and the outfits. Like I'm thinking, they must use sticky tape to hold some of that stuff down?
Yeah, I think so. It was really, really.
Gosh, I hope so.
Was really weird.
Yeah, especially those guys, their pants. Holy crap! The fabric on it. One wrong move. If they didn't have sticky tape and one wrong move, oh boy, hello. Surprise, surprise.
I was thinking, couldn't you think about something else to wear? Cause That was really, yeah.
It was getting close to being almost like a planet for a nudist colony.
Something like
Oh,
that,
it was
yeah.
close to it. It was halfway there.
I must say, I do think that Case McFadden was really acting well as that scary mother who's gonna lose her son. That was really, really emotional. And I was thinking too, perhaps Wesley was already something for her like that, and that she already could act on those emotions.
Well, yeah, she was like really, really freaked out that Wesley was going to end up getting killed if they couldn't stop him. If they couldn't stop him, he was going to end up getting killed or well, like she was upset and scared and everything because they were going to kill her son just because he tripped over the long railing and into the little miniature greenhouse that was holding flowers. That's all he did.
Yeah, and for us, that is really a too heavy and ridiculous punishment. So, we are at the end right now. There's only one thing we still need to do, and that is rating this episode.
Yep.
I think it's a semi well written story for this episode. I did like the story, but
I did too. It was a good one.
Did you notice, by the way, how many Wesley episodes we already have gotten? And we this is the 7th episode.
Was it like 3?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 3 episodes. Yeah, it's been 3 Wesley episodes, and I'm sure there's a lot more Wesley episodes to come.
Yeah, but that is in the future for us, for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, I think I will give this episode a 9. What about you?
Yeah, I would say around a 9 also.
Good. Well, we have 2 weeks again to watch the new episode, and a new episode for in about 2 weeks is the episode The Battle. Amanda, thank you very much again to talk with me about this episode. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm glad to be on again. Yeah, 2 weeks we'll be talking about the next episode.
So I will see you in about 2 weeks. And
see you in 2 weeks.
And you too, guys. And live long and prosper.
Yeah. See you guys later. Live long and prosper from the province of New Brunswick, Canada.
Dear listeners, thank you for listening, and join us in 2 weeks for a new episode recap. In the next episode, we will recap the episode The Battle. Ghost Talking Track is also to listen, follow, and subscribe on Anchor, Google Podcast, Spotify, the Facebook group, and the YouTube channel. If you'd like to comment on the episode or talk with us about the Star Trek episode we just recapped, you can reach out on the Facebook group and the YouTube channel of Ghost Talking Track. We will see you in 2 weeks. Live long and prosper.